This is Lorena Mora-Mowry from Latina. Today we have with us Carlos de León de la Riva. He's the CEO of the La Riva USA Corporation. Welcome to Latina today.
Thank you.
Let's talk about, he's here currently visiting Cincinnati, and he's going to talk, share information about a recent study that they did, and it's coming in a book, is correct?
Yeah.
And the name is Hispanic Game.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let's talk about your organization and here in the United States, what they do, what is the mission and philosophy?
We do a lot of research with the U.S. Hispanic market. We specialized in mostly multi-methodological approaches. We do ethnographic and quantitative work with the Hispanics, and we have been doing this for 16 years in the U.S. Our group of companies has 25 years. We have offices in Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, Guatemala, and the USA. So that's who we are.
Well, recently you did a study about Hispanic Game. First of all, why you call it Hispanic Game, and secondly, what is important to create this study about the Hispanic Latino community in the United States?
There are tons of research and studies about the Hispanic market in the US, and we wanted to come up with something new and something really rich and deep in terms of information. So we immersed ourselves for around 4 months with around 40 different families in the US with ethnographers and anthropologists. And then we quantified all of that information, and we designed a segmentation model. And the book that we're publishing next month, it's a summary of what the main findings of that study, which we call Hispanic Game, because as Hispanics we concluded that we are very strategic in the way we behave. We always have our Hispanic and our American side, and we're constantly switching, like in a game, according to what we need in a particular situation.
We will learn a lot once it's published, this book, but in particular, let's talk about the role of the Latina woman in the U.S.
Yeah, in order to understand Latino women now in the United States, we have to remember that in Latin America we have a very machista culture, and women are not used to have the same opportunities than men. When they come into the US, that's the first thing they realize, that if they have a dream, if they want to pursue a career, professional or academic, they have more means, and they have the possibility of becoming as or more successful than men in pursuing the American dream. So that's what we've seen in our research. We have really good examples of women who have been successful, who came into the US with barely being able to read, and they end up with master's degrees and teaching Hispanic children with no economic means, and so they are great success stories.
Tell me one example of one of the family that you have chosen for this program. Okay, you talk about one in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Tell us another areas that you did the study.
We went to California, to different cities in California. We went to all of Texas as well. We went to New York, Chicago, Florida, and it's very interesting that we developed within the study a chapter for every city, because we as Latinos have carved an identity for each of the cities through the last decades. So we have given a specific identity to New York, one to Los Angeles, one to Chicago, one to Houston, and one to Miami. They are very different, and when you do research, it's something you have to consider as well. You can't just do a Hispanic study about Hispanics and not focus on something as important as the geographic location.
Why is it important to be in Cincinnati this time? Because now you're in Cincinnati, and probably you will do a study about us. The next study will be about Ohio and the Midwest.
We are already including markets that had not been traditionally taken into account when you talk about Hispanics. One of them is Ohio, also Georgia, the Carolinas, because Hispanics are not just going to the traditional places that we've been going to for the last 40 years. And the reason I'm in Cincinnati, we just opened a new office in Cincinnati, and there are really big, important clients here for us. So we are sure we're going to be doing a lot of research here.
As the perspective of a woman that is that works here in Ohio and works in the United States, what you have learned about the corporation, how the companies perceive us?
I think you have the good and bad examples, but at the end of the day, that we should be careful of the classic stereotypes of Hispanics and see that we are all part of one country, and Hispanics are not trying to colonize the United States or to turn it into a Venezuela or Mexico, because there is a reason why we left the countries we come from, because we like the United States and we like being here, we like working here, and Hispanics are becoming more and more important. We saw that in the most recent election. It's not just a subject that you talk about, yeah, Hispanics are very powerful and this and that. No, we saw that we can decide an election, and it's something real and that is happening now.
Well, this is important. It's a very important study called Hispanic Game, and it will be available
in September.
And you can buy it online.
Yes,
you can buy
it will be available on iTunes and on Amazon.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Carlos, for giving us the opportunity to talk about the study. Any additional information that you would like to share?
No, thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you.